Here's an interesting little something we went over in class, possibly, depending on what year you're watching this. How do you write the number 1,000 with 3 significant figures? So just a quick reminder of how things work. Normally, if you're looking at the number 1,000, remember trailing zeros don't count if there's no decimal, so that's 1 sig fig. Oops, 1 sig fig, 1 significant figure. Wow, I can't spell today. 1 sig fig. All right, there we go. Now, suppose you somehow did a calculation, the answer was 1,000, and you figure out that you need to round to 3 significant figures. How do you do that? Because if you just have this, that's 1 significant figure. If you do this, put a decimal point at the end, you now have 4 sig figs. Well, I suppose you could do this. That is 3 sig figs, but that's not 1,000 anymore, right? Imagine you had this much money in your bank account. The bank rounded it down to 100. That's not very nice. So that's not a way to get the 3 significant figures out of the number 1,000. So, how do you get 3 sig figs out of a number such as 1,000? The answer, use scientific notation. So here's the thing. If I took this, just 1,000, I would say 1 times 10 to the third. Because 1, and I don't count the zeros because there's no decimal, and I'd have to move the decimal 1, 2, 3 times, so that's where the 3 comes from, 1 times 10 to the third. This would be 1.000 times 10 to the third. So this is 1 sig fig. This is 4 sig figs. So how do you get 3 sig figs out of this? Easy. Just 1.00 times 10 to the third. 1.00 is, or 1.00 times 10 to the third is 1,000. Here, I'll prove it. 1.00 times 10 to the third. Yeah, it's the same number, 1,000. But this way, we can write it with 3 sig figs. Or perhaps, what if I wanted it with 2 sig figs? 1,000 with 2 sig figs. Easy. 1.0 times 10 to the third. It's still 1,000 because it's 1 times 10 to the third, and then 1.0 makes it 2 significant figures. So that's how you deal with something like this. Likewise, let's say you need the number 100,000 with 3 significant figures. How do you get that? 1.00, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, times 10 to the 5th. That would give you 3 significant figures for a number like this, whereas, because right now it's 1 sig fig, this right here is 5 sig figs, so that's no good. But yeah, this will give you 3 significant figures. So that's how you handle certain numbers, and it can be any numbers, like for example, 62,100. Any numbers where this comes up, where let's say, yeah, where you need a different number of sig figs than would ordinarily be possible. 62,100, 3 sig figs. Suppose you need 4 sig figs. You put a decimal here, well, now it's 5 sig figs. No decimal, it's 3 sig figs. What if you want 4 sig figs? Well, what you do? Scientific notation. 6.21 is 3 sig figs. If you want 4, add a 0 at the end. Times 10 to the power of, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom, 4 significant figures, which is impossible to get 4 sig figs if you write this as a regular number. Okay, so that's how you handle these sorts of things. All right, there we have it.